Mr. Media.
Yes, exactly.
CT hero. CT hero. So like it's kind of like I'm all. Yeah.
No, I missed it. He went the year after.
I know you went for one, but he wasn't there for 4 years.
He might have been there. Oh, no, I don't think he was.
So he was at BB9 and then what's the-
Yeah. So like, I was good at Burgers all the time. That's more.
You didn't want to leave, right?
Kobe, Buckingham, it's not really, I mean,
Brown, right?
I know Buckingham.
Yeah. You're right, Chuck.
Buckingham Brown.
All right, guys, so we'll get started here. I think we might have some people coming in, but thank you everyone for coming.
Okay, thank God.
Thank you everyone for coming out today. We have our national championship Trinity basketball team here today. Representing the team, we have Drew Lazar, junior guard, senior guard Alex Douglas, junior forward Jarrell Okorogo, junior guard Henry Vetter, senior guard Will Dorian, head coach James Cosgrove, junior forward Trevor McDonald, and senior forward Sean McCarchuk. They're excited for your questions, so whoever wants to lead off, feel free.
Well, you're a senior, so this was an important moment. I watched the video feed, and you look sort of like in disbelief. Can you describe that moment?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was similar for all of us, just kind of getting to that moment and realizing that we had kind of finished the job. It was unique to have that be my last game. I know we were talking about it after with Coach, but that's, a great way to go out, that being our last game. And I think I am still in disbelief that happened, but I'm proud of this group, proud of what we did. Just stuck together all the way through, so great accomplishment.
This is a question for any of the student athletes. Last year you guys got there against Trinity, but you couldn't get over the hump. When you started this season, was there any reflection on what you weren't able to finish last year?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of us just wanted to work as hard as we could to get back to that stage and get another opportunity at it. We knew nothing was guaranteed, but we kind of just worked all year long to put ourselves in a chance to succeed.
I guess just a follow-up for you, Henry. I've talked with some of your teammates and some of your former teammates, when you were at Canterbury, and some of them said that, you weren't the player that you are now. Can you just talk a little about your development and how you've been able to kind of come to this moment where you're now standing on the top of the mountain with a trophy, a national championship next to you?
Yeah, well, like I said, I mean, that's kind of just been the mindset every year, not just last year, but just hopefully get better every offseason and then come in and do what I can to help our team win. And, try and elevate the play of my teammates. And I'm grateful to be surrounded by a lot of great players who push me in practice and in games. So like I said, I just try and return the favor and work as hard as I can to do what I can.
Can I help on that a little bit? Like everybody here, I mean, you go along with all these guys. I mean, someone asked a question to Drew. Did you expect such a big role this year coming from last year? And he's just worked so hard and has gotten so much better. Like if you look down the list, everybody here. I mean, the reason I wanted these guys here is everyone's been here 3 years, 4 years, at least. And I think the reason we have this trophy is because these guys especially, and all the guys we've had, but these guys especially have worked to get better year in and year out. And that's why we're sitting here now, is because we have great kids who understand what it takes to be successful. And it's about the hard work. It's about the right attitude. It's about the team attitude first. And these guys all exemplify that and have gotten so much better since when they got here, and it's unbelievable, and that's why we're here today. To be honest with you, all these guys sitting here for sure, the work they've done and how much they put into the game, and how much they've gotten better for themselves, but also for our program and for each other.
Coach, last time we were in this room, you guys had beaten Western New England, I believe it was, and I asked a question about you never being satisfied. You seem to be, always looking at, how you can get better. Now that you have this national championship, can you finally celebrate and be happy?
Yeah, I'm gonna be happy for a little bit. I do gotta say, I'm extremely happy for Sean's last game that he's gonna play in college. Will's last game that he's gonna play in college. Alex is, excuse me, last game that he's going to play in college. But I mean, we have some other really good kids in our program coming back. So we're gonna when we get ready to get back at it in a couple of weeks and get back in the weight room and get back playing, we're going to put a challenge on to have another really, really good year. I mean, I think that we would be selling each other short and selling ourselves short if we didn't really, really try to have another great year and do some great things again.
Yeah. Let's go kind of to the final play, guys. When we were there in Fort Wayne, you were priding yourselves on rebounding. And in that last play, there was 2 offensive rebounds. Trevor gets the first one. Drew gets the second one. Henry hits the shot. Why don't you guys kind of talk about what was going on in the court in that moment and how big the rebounding was for you guys in that game?
I mean, yeah, those plays were huge. I mean, we don't get those final shots off without those rebounds. I mean, I don't get that shot unless Drew's right there, Trevor's right there, and that was kind of the whole game. I mean, a lot of our guys are just menaces on the boards and get us extra possessions, which are huge. I mean, I think we had like 10 more shots than NYU. I think they took 52, we took 62. I mean, that's a big difference. I mean, you get 10 more shots, like our chances most times.
I would also like to say, we emphasize playing to the last minute, right to the buzzer goes off. If anybody puts their head down, we're gonna lose the game, we don't get that rebound, or we don't get the offensive rebound from Trevor or me. So I want to say that just playing to the last second, every moment, it helped a lot.
Yeah, those offensive rebounds were unbelievable, and it was key. And we don't win without them. But also too, it was kind of funny. The last shot came off the rim for them, and Jarrell was like shot out of the cannon going after that ball. He said, "We're gonna win this. We're gonna win this free game. I get to get this ball," and that was huge. But all these guys, Trevor with one, Drew with one. I mean, all these guys and everybody here just made so many big plays to propel us to win. And sometimes, everybody looks at who's scoring or this and that, but guys playing the defense. I mean, we're the number 1 team in the country in field goal percentage defense and points allowed per game, and that's all about team, and that's all about guys just playing hard and getting stuff done on the defensive end, which is huge. And all these guys have done unbelievable jobs in that, and sometimes that goes unnoticed, and it shouldn't, because that's a huge reason why we're sitting here also.
Yeah, for sure. Let's speak more to that, because I feel like in today's basketball, it's a lot about scoring, 3-point shooting, and the pride of this team is defense, limiting teams. New York had their lowest up point of the year, 60 points against you guys. What can you say about your mindset to kind of buckle down and know that, hey, our strength is defense, not necessarily filling it up every game?
Yeah, I think for us, we know if we can hold a team to 50, 55, 60 points a game, more often than not, we're going to win the game, because, even support. Also, offensively, we have guys who can score. And I think we hold guys to around 60, even 65 points a game, and we'll most likely come out on top. So that's kind of our defensive mindset when we go into the games.
Also, like what you were saying about sometimes it doesn't come up on the stat sheet. It also comes with everybody who's in practice too. We have guys who don't usually get in the game or doesn't play. They always push us during practice. So that's what helped us get our defense and just all of our defensive tendencies and stuff like that. Just guys who don't play all the time but show up in practice for us. So it takes everybody.
And I'll also say to that, I mean, Coach does it all the time, especially in the past few weeks that we played, defense travels. You can pride yourself on offense, kind of like some teams that we played did, and you have one bad shooting night and your season's over. And I think if you pride yourself on defense, especially with a single elimination winner at home, defense always travels, and that's your identity, which for all these guys it has been. You're a really, really hard team to beat.
I think one game in particular this year was the Williams game. Even though we lost, it's like, we only gave up 56 points or whatever, but Coach talked about, we all talked about it, you got to win when you're not able to shoot very well. And I think we shot under 30%. So I think definitely that helped us build off because we didn't score that much in the championship game either. 64 is not a lot. So, but we were able to lock down on defense, and that helped us get the championship.
And one more thing too, I think we're all kind of fired up to play against NYU just because of the firepower they had. I think that was a game for us to really prove of, how our defense has developed since that Williams game, since the Wesleyan game and the Babson game early in the year. It was just kind of a culmination of, what we preach in the locker room every day. And holding a team like that to 60 points, I mean, it kind of just goes back to like defense does win championships. I think a lot of us in, today's day wouldn't necessarily say that because you do really need offense to go win games. But, against NYU, it really was our defense that helped us, reach that finish line.
Yeah, also for me personally, I don't know how the rest of these guys feel, but I've since being here, also always want to play a UAA team. There's a lot of people saying NASCAR and UAA are two of the best conferences, so it's kind of fun playing them in the championship.
So Jarrell, back to you. So this year you were Defensive Player of the Year in the conference. You got All-American status. What helped your game grow this year and help get the team to that next level?
I mean, honestly, just putting in a lot of work in the offseason. Like I said, I've said it a lot. Our practices are a lot harder than the games that we play. So if you can go in and compete practice day in, day out, then it just makes the game feel so much easier.
Mm-hmm. Drew, what about you? You had a career year. I think you had career highs in pretty much every statistical category for yourself. So what were the changes you made this year coming in?
I'd say it wasn't really much changes. I mean, I obviously got in the gym, worked on my game, coming from last year. The way we lost made me want to take a step further. But like I've said before, it's really from the encouragement from these guys, seeing them every day in the gym. I'm always like, I want to get in there too. I want to help my team improve. So just me having that mindset of me wanting to help the team because everybody else wants the team to be good. It was just how it motivated me to get in the gym.
Sean, can you just talk a little bit about what it means to be a senior sitting in this chair as a national champion?
Yeah, it kind of feels surreal. I keep telling everyone who's asking, it's like it still really hasn't hit me yet. Usually we get a break after the season, and then postseason work, off-season work starts back up, and I feel like once that starts, it will really hit me. But I'm just trying to ride the high. It feels great. And when the buzzer hit during the game, and like everything kind of set in, it was like all the work throughout the years, the early mornings, the conditioning, the AAU practices, it all kind of like felt for real. That like the hard work had paid off, and I'm just trying to enjoy the moment now.
How long till you got your haircut, Sean?
I got it Tuesday, so it was superstitions. I didn't want to get it during the season, the way we were playing. And a fun fact, I actually didn't get a haircut all last season, so I felt like, I'm super superstitious and didn't want to get it cut prior to us losing. So, yeah, one of the reasons, probably. So.
Anybody gonna have Firehouse sub anytime soon?
No.
I liked it.
That was pretty good.
I didn't mind.
That was good.
It wasn't Red Rock.
It wasn't Johnny's.
Red Rock, put that on tape. Wasn't Red Rock.
So let's look at the juniors. So we kind of joked in the locker room that the two classes, the freshmen and sophomores, are 60-5 over the last 2 years. So what kind of mentality can you give these guys now that they're going to be coming into their second, third years with the program to kind of keep you guys at this level?
I mean, just like I would hope that our class, set a good example for them in terms of like not only winning but working hard. So we have a lot of good rats on our team. Our freshman guys are in there all the time working out with Coach Kidd. We got our sophomores who can't drag out of the gym. So I feel like, you just hopefully we set a good example for them and they can kind of continue it after we're gone.
The season is a long season. You played 30, you won 30 games. What is life like away from the basketball court during the season for you guys in terms of chemistry?
I would just say being away from there is no being away from basketball. I'd say like Rose said, we're all gym rats, so we always see each other in the gym anyway. Like yesterday, we had several guys in the gym playing, and somebody came in and said, "You guys are crazy." It was like, but we're always in the gym, so there's no real life outside of it.
And I mean, we're close on the court, but we're also really close off the court. I know me, Henry, and Will live together. Alex and Sean live together. We often have like the whole team at our house or Alex's house. So outside of basketball, we just
And Trevor uses our house for laundry. So he's there all the time. Can't get rid of him.
Yeah, but those two things that those guys just said about being in the gym and being together, I mean, I think that's the best formula that you can have for success. And I mean, it comes from them. I mean, they want to be in the gym, they want to play, they want to look out for each other, they want to be together, they look out for each other, and those things are important to the success. And I'm very fortunate that we have this group for sure.
Coach, I'm getting the sense that you're wired to continuously always look at what you can improve on. I didn't get an answer that you were celebrating this win. It seems like you were looking at what's next.
Yeah, like I said, we just we'll the next couple weeks, will be downtime as far as the guys having responsibilities with our strength coaches or anything like that, and then I think once we get ready to get back at it, I think we just need to you need to have a chip on your shoulder. You need to find a way where it's like no one says you can do it again or whatever it is. We need to have some kind of chip that we're going to be motivated to work harder and continue to grow and continue to get better and continue to get to the highest level we can get to for sure.
Alex, why don't you talk about your role a little bit here down the stretch? Of course, you had an unfortunate injury that cut your season short, but what can you say about how you fought through that and then still had the headspace to be a factor with this team, whether it's in practice, on the bench? Speak a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, when I got hurt, I think we practiced at night, so it was a pretty late night, as far as getting X-rays and coming back here, all that stuff. And I talked to Coach King in the car, and just I'm so close with all these guys. I still want to see them succeed, obviously. So my main focus is just how can I help these guys succeed. I mean, I've been here a while. I've seen our best teams and some of our more disappointing teams. So I've kind of been on both sides of it. So I knew that, first of all, I told you that I thought this group was the most special group I've been a part of. And I just wanted to push that as far as I can. So my headspace is really just helping us win, whenever I can. I mean, Coach King was probably a little overwhelmed. Yeah, one assistant coach, one head coach. So I just tried to split some stuff up with him, whatever I could do to help him, just so that he can be focused and locked in. And I just enjoyed being a part of the ride.
Yeah, Alex did a tremendous job. He didn't miss a beat. I mean, he was in with these guys, working them, rebounding for them, getting them extra shots, working on their shooting, working on different things with them, and then he'd be in with coach, breaking down film with them. I mean, he was tremendous. I mean, a lot of kids would have sulked and moaned, and he didn't skip a beat at all. And I mean, it just shows a true testament of him and his character. But all these guys, what they're about is hey, I just want to do whatever I can to help us be great. And Alex was a great example of that. When he got hurt, he was like, no, I'm going to do whatever I can to make this team the best it can be, just like everyone else. And that, don't discount that was a huge factor in our success also, Alex, and everyone. So that was great to see.
And just to add on to that, I think Alex and I have had a unique relationship over these past 4 years. We started out kind of button heads and whatnot.
Literally.
We literally would.
In practice.
But after he did injure his hand, he helped me a lot. I went through a little bit of a struggle with my my shooting and whatnot, and he stepped up and would do workouts with me all the time. And I just really want to credit him for what he did for us. We all think he could be a great coach, will be a great coach, and I think that really showed with how he approached everything with us. He was definitely a huge part of our success. I'm just grateful that we developed that relationship into a brotherhood rather than button heads still. But yeah, I give him a lot of credit for at least how I felt in those last couple of weeks.
I'd also say, I'd like to say everything happens for a reason, but not saying that it was a good thing. But basketball, Alex sees basketball he's a basketball nerd. stats, analytics stuff that he loves. And I think I can tell that he loved doing what he was doing with the coach. Like doing the playbook, going through scout, things like that. He really loved it. Every time he was walking with his laptop, breaking down film. And I think that just showed how motivated he was. And that's what motivated all of us.
Throughout, I've followed the team for the last couple of years or so. You seem to be the quietest starter, and your game has improved over the years. I mean, what do you attribute, your success to over the last 3 years or so?
I mean, honestly, just the constant work that I put into the off season. Like I said, the whole team's different, as I can tell myself right now. And also just kind of like my teammates trusting me over the time this build and they're improving. They trust me to go out there and guard the team's best player, and they also trust me to score the ball. So.
Just have a general question for anybody who wants to answer. Just what's it like to bring a championship to Hartford and just to this program and this school?
Yeah, I'll start that. It's pretty neat. You live here, and these guys have been here a few years. I've been here a lot of years, and you hear all the time, which is well deserved. UConn, and it's kind of neat. I think we're the third school in Connecticut to win a national championship for men's basketball. Sacred Heart won one in the 80s, and then UConn obviously has a few, and now we're the third school from the state of Connecticut to win a national championship. So that's pretty cool. Kind of first Division III school, but also the third school in the state to win a national championship. So that's pretty cool to bring that back, and especially for the city of Hartford. Obviously the first school from the city of Hartford to win a championship in men's basketball. So. And I just think that's pretty neat that these guys brought a championship back to Connecticut that hasn't been done besides UConn in a long time.
Yeah, I would describe it as special. I mean, the whole community, they have our back constantly. Like, a lot of our closest friends are really happy and supportive of us. Like our roommates and whatnot. So just kind of hearing the buzz around campus kind of makes it kind of unreal, and it's good because we wanted to win bad, but so did our community and our school.
And I would also say not as much for the city but for the program. I've been a part of a lot of different teams here, and I have a lot of close friends that are on the team, and obviously that graduated. Just them reaching back out and just trying to let them know that they also played a huge part in this. The seniors from my freshman year played a huge part in this. The guys last year that graduated also played a huge part in this. I think just bringing this back for this program, a lot of people gives the opportunity for a lot of people that were in this program to feel a lot of pride that their careers meant a little more, and that's what's been most special about it for me. So those guys that aren't on the team anymore but still are really, really invested in this program and really, really invested in this group of guys, and just being able to have that hardware for them also.
You guys talked about your goals list. So Trevor, Henry, Jarrell, Drew, what do you guys think? I know it's early, but what might be some goals either personally or for the team for next year?
Yeah, I mean, I think like Coach said, really just focus on the spring in a few weeks. We'll obviously take it easy for the next week or two and kind of enjoy this moment. But once we're getting towards the end of the spring, we'll start gearing back up for a good summer and some off-season work, and we'll assess that when we come back in the fall. But I think, like Coach said, I mean, we'd be selling ourselves short if we weren't gearing up for another really good year next year. And I think that's it's fun. I mean, winning's fun. So I think all of us just want to win.
All right, we're good. Thank you guys.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Maybe some video.
No questions came through?
No. I think he said he might try to go to